Hi, I'm Kat Kramer. I'm here with Lily Tomlin and Helen Caldicott for the 5th anniversary of Kat Kramer's films that changed the world. And I wanted to ask both of you your feelings about the film tonight, Fallout. And I know, Helen, it's a film that you're in, and also how much On the Beach resonated with you when you were growing up. I wanted to ask you if you can recall that moment when you first read the book and when you first saw the film, and then also Lily, after that, if you've also seen On the Beach when you were, you know, when it first came out, and your feelings on it, reflections.
Well, I guess I was about 17 or 18. I'd read the book On the Beach, but then I saw the film. And I lived in Melbourne, where the film is set. Barbara Gardner called it the armpit of the world, and she said it's a great place for the world to end. She didn't like it, and we didn't like her. Anyway, so I remember at the end of the film, and the mother had given her baby cyanide to kill the baby before the radiation came down, and the baby died of acute radiation illness, vomiting and bleeding to death. And at the end, the beautiful, elegant streets of Melbourne were still there, the trams, St. George slaying the dragon outside the public library, bits of paper blowing down in the breeze, and a blind gently flapping. And that was the end of life on earth. And that branded my soul. And I was never the same again. I lost my innocence. I was only 17. I never felt safe again, and I never trusted these men that build nuclear weapons. So that was my initiation. And it was a very profound initiation. So a film can change a person's life.
Change the world, absolutely. Yeah. And Lily, did you see On the Beach when it first came out?
I imagine I was about the same age.
Yeah.
I don't know that I even related to it in so sincere and deep a level. It seemed at the time I probably thought, oh, that's Australia. You know, I must have grasped something, but I can't really attest to it because I was probably more influenced at that time by Bridget Bardot in God Created Woman.
Big difference.
No, it's. I mean, it's. You know, I try to lock into this as Helen's been able to. I mean, she's incredibly aware, informed, intelligent, seeking, searching, affecting, and she affected me when I met her back in the early 70s, and the anti-nuke movement was starting here in California, and Helen really brought all that knowledge and awareness to us, and a lot of young activists became very involved, and I guess I could flatter myself by saying I was one. And I just began to know how horrific. As an actress, I probably was thinking, well, I certainly don't want radiation to come in and invade my body or my face before my career gets going.
This seems like a simple question, but you know, what do you hope that audiences will take away when they see Fallout? What can they do?
Well, it's creating an attention and a platform and a focus for people to continue this, to do something and create this dialogue and continue it. The public discourse is not informed enough. I mean, people can't deal with this when they're trying to make a living and raise children. They're
but they can. You see, they can.
That's what I want to hear from you.
They can, because I led the movement in the 80s against nuclear war and the freeze, and we got 80% of people to think that nuclear war is bad for their health, whereas when I first started in 78, everyone said it's better to be dead than red, and I thought, this is psychotic. This nation's psychotic. So I organised 23,000 doctors, and we explained the medical effects of nuclear war. And the journalist said, well, what are doctors talking about this for? This is political. And we said, no, it will create the final epidemic of the human race. Now, because of Clinton, who's got no spine, he left the weapons in place. He had a man in the Kremlin called Yeltsin who was totally compliant. We handed Clinton the ability to eradicate nuclear weapons on a silver plate. 80% of people supported it. He could have got in Air Force One with a contract to say, Yeltsin, sign here, we're going to abolish nuclear weapons, and it would have happened. If we're blown up tonight, because 94% of the H-bombs in the world are owned by Russia and America, and they're targeting each other even though they're best friends and trading partners, all cities are targeted, all towns up to 50,000 here are targeted, all universities, all industrial facilities, and if that goes by computer error, kids hacking into the early warning system, a flight of geese started the early warning system once, you know, we're dead. And it could happen tonight, and yet they're running around with microscopes looking at Iran and South Korea. That's called displacement activity, and it's hypocritical. This is the country that can save the planet, and if this country does the right thing, Russia will copy and follow. But it has to happen from America. And America's full of the most wonderful people who really want to do the right thing. They're just not sure what the right thing is to do, you know? So they need to be empowered and educated and stimulated like we did in the 80s.
And this film tonight will do that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.